My story is really short because I actually I wasn't even involved in music really as an artist until I got up with Mark and Beyond Dishonor. I mean, I've always been in music. I played drums since I was probably about like 10 years old. Been in bands, marching bands, all that stuff, like choirs, and singing at church, singing at school. And I mean, I always wrote. That's probably the biggest thing. I actually dropped out of college for creative writing because I aspired to be a screenwriter at some point in my life. But I always would hang out with my a mutual friend of ours, Richie. And like I think you know, pick up from earlier. I've known this kid since I was probably about like 12 years old. And a mutual friend of ours is always talking to me like, "Oh, dude, you know, Mark's still looking for a singer, man. Mark's still looking for a singer." And I'm like, "Dude, I've never done it before, but man, I listen to enough music. I write enough stuff. I have enough lyrics written down. I'm telling you, I can do a good job as a singer." And I went and tried out for him, and it's actually kind of funny. I almost broke up their band with my first day of trying out. Like I tried out, and I went home. Yeah, come to find out behind the scenes, I never even knew this until years later. The drummer at the time was like, "All right, well, Reese was perfect, so he's in the band." And Mark and the other guitarist Chris at the time were like, "Well, I don't know, man. We can't just jump in just because he's our boy." And Eric's like, "Reese is our singer. I'm leaving the band." And like they had like a heated like argument about it, and it boiled down to like, "All right, we'll give him a shot. He does seem like he could be good." I mean, I'm glad they did because everything's been working out ever since then. And you know, like that's really like all my origin story really like comes from. I mean, music wise, I was a black kid that grew up in the suburbs. Like I went to like a predominantly white school in a small town in South Jersey named Palmyra, and I was the kid like having my friends let me borrow their Green Day CDs and their Rage Against the Machine CDs. And I'm at home listening to it. When I see these cassettes, I'm at home listening to my Walkman, and my mom's walking in. I'm like, yeah, I'm listening to rap. Like, that's all right. Like,
you're good.
But really, in all honesty, I was loving listening to Metallica. I was loving listening to Guns N' Roses in the early '90s. And as I got older, a lot more of my friends were getting into underground stuff, and I didn't really know anything about it. And I hated like the whole screaming metal. I'm like, oh, there's no talent in this. I'd rather listen to Slipknot. I'd rather listen to System of a Down. Yeah, but you know, he could sing, and you know, and like I didn't give a lot of value to screaming metal until I heard about a band called Poison the Well. And Poison the Well, the way he sang and screamed and their mixture of their hardcore and metal elements really opened my eyes to a whole other realm of music that I didn't even know what was going on at this time. That he was saying with bands like Zayo and Unearth, these bands have been out for years. I'd call these bands my favorite bands of all time, and I didn't even knew about them up until maybe like the late 90s, early 2000s, 2001. And I mean, hanging out with these guys, listening to more music, listening to a lot of Lamb of God, a lot on Earth, Life Was Lost, like another band that's actually from the South Jersey, Philadelphia area, going to see shows at churches and stuff like that. I was like, you know what? This is for me. The church, and like Found in Life back in the day, man.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I saw the Killing, which is a band that's defunct, not even around anymore. They were a big band from a small town I was in. They headlined over bands like Between the Married and Me that are now selling out. Like,
I didn't know Jay got that far.
Dude, they were Between the Married and Me opened for
them. Yeah, it was wild.
I'm used to seeing Jay drunken, like,
but I mean,
blacked out.
Long story short, I've always been about music. Ever since as far back as I can remember, my mom had me listen to Jimi Hendrix stuff when I was like 6, and like as metal grew and got bigger, I grew along right side with it and along these assholes, and you know, now I'm here today.
And this is a serious fucking burger.
I seen, dude. You just took a chomp right in screen.
I got the pretzel bun.
Me.
Yeah, I think it looks good, man. I kind of wish I got one now.
My slider's getting cold, so I'm gonna keep this short.
All right.
Now this like music is in my family. Like Dad's one of 7, so like everybody plays something, everybody sings or does something.
He's not saying that lately.
No, it's like family parties. Locke knows that's how I know Locke from since before I was 10. Like he was at family parties. He's my cousin's best friend. So like he's been around. He knows it's just any party turns into a big jam session. So it's just in my family. So that was I knew I was gonna end up playing something. Parents, of course, start you off on piano. I was like, fuck this, I don't want to play piano. I want to play guitar. So my uncle Neil, he played guitar and he was the coolest guy I ever knew, you know, growing up. So he started giving lessons. He taught me how to play. Took lessons from him for like 8 years, and so I played guitar for quite a while. I was in and out of bands and playing guitar. Kind of swapped between metal bands and rock band, pop punk band. Like that was the last band I was in, was a pop punk band.
He found his balls though.
It was so cute though.
Yeah, it was a fun time. I mean, it was good. It was good to change it up because I was from like a progressive kind of metal band, and then we switched it up. Actually, a couple guys from that band went in this pop punk band that I was in. So it was cool to just switch it up, to try something new, different scene. But it was cool to do that, and then that kind of was going nowhere. So I was talking to Locke one time, and they needed a new bass player. They knew the old bass player was on his way out, and I said, you know, I'll come try it. You know, I played bass before, but never seriously. So I'll give it a shot. Maybe I'll just fill in for you guys, help you out, whatever. You guys are all my friends.
That big show we had here.
Yeah, playing with also Parrish and Cyrus. It was a huge show, so they needed a bass player. I was just gonna help out, you know. And so I started picking up a bass. I learned a couple of the tunes. I just came to practice one time when they were trying somebody else out. I don't remember who the guy was, but he was kind of funny.
That was the weirder dude from Prospect.
Yeah. One leg shorter than the other guy.
Yeah, so that was interesting. So I knew for a fact that guy wasn't getting in the band. So I picked up a bass.
Based on looks alone.
Learned a couple of songs.
He probably has some complexes and gonna hear this and come back and kill all of you. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
I think he was a nice guy.
No, he was a great guy.
He was a cool dude.
I knew him for like.
Say all that now afterward.
No, and if you do see this, I'm sorry, I still have your pyramid bondage bracelet, the brown one. If you see this video, hit me up. I'll give it back to you. It's sitting in my.
You got a bondage bracelet from another dude, bro?
He left it at Locks. Anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah. Go.
It's all good. But then it just kind of felt right playing with these guys. As gay as that sounds.
It felt right.
We actually said at the time, sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
we
no,
said, Mark's statement was, we need to find somebody like Petty to play bass. Like, we need to find a person like him. Remember, Mark? He said,
I knew it, but I was a fan before
we
that.
could
Like,
find a person like Petty that played the bass, we would be set. Yeah. He would say it literally every time we brought somebody in, right, to try out.
I tried to pull for you when we were trying to replace Chris on guitar.
Yep.
I was like, dude, get Petty, man. Call Petty. I love Petty. Get him in the band. I didn't care. And then I begged him to try out for bass at the
I had a lot going on at that point in the other band I was in, so guitar didn't work out, but came in for bass, tried it out, and it was like, I had so much fun just in a fill-in position. Like, by the time that show actually came around, I was in the band. I was like, you know what, screw this turnout thing, this tryout, like, you know, a not permanent thing, just fill in. I was like, I want to be in this band, so if you guys want me, I'll do it. And of course they were just like, well, that's what we've been saying the whole time. And that's what I've heard that part for the first time.
We were trying to talk him into it for like a month prior anyway.
Yeah. So that's how I got here, pretty much.